so much easier to get things out because you just kind of like, it's out. And then like you want to put things in, you want to put it back nice and carefully, and you can't because you shook it to death to get it out. And you can't just shake it to death to get it back in, usually. Today we're gonna fix up the windows, hopefully. We're also gonna outfit it with probably new screws if it needs it. Hopefully we can get it apart. Some of the windows are being super stubborn, which sucks, but little things. PV blasted. Destruction. Yeah, there you go, push. Yeah. Since we don't exactly know what we're doing, we're just kind of looking at what's here and how we can seal it back up right. We've got some new adhesive foam strips, and we're gonna grind down all the rusty bits here.
Hold on. So we have most of the windows for one side of the bus already taken out. Most of them we've already deconstructed. The window frame coming out of the bus looks like this, except for there's usually a top piece that we took out. So it's just like right in there. And so we've taken it apart, unscrewed everything to take the windows out. These are the old gaskets that some of them are hard and chipping, some of them have already broken through. You see that corner piece there. So we're refitting the broken ones with the new gaskets and then repurposing the other ones. So we also have some new pile stripping. A lot of the old ones were really flat, they're really dirty, so they're just not sealing to the window as well as they could be. Some foam sealant here to place along on the tops of the windows and against the windows to push it back to the frame. The old insulation is, you know, flat and peeling and falling apart like this. So we're just gonna put a fresh piece on there, that way it has a nice seal to the bus. It took us a long time to find all the things that we needed. We really just thought taking the windows apart, we would just need to find the seals. And then we found out that we needed new screws, more pile stripping, and then we had a really hard time finding the seals in the first place, like the right measurement and stuff that we needed. So it took us a while, plus money and work and blah, blah, blah. Adds a lot of extra time that we didn't want. So yay to a really nice day. We have like 66-degree weather today, which is fantastic, and all of the things that we need. So we'll get to work. Is take out the old pile stripping. It's got a plastic base in these little curved edges here, and I usually take the pliers, pull it out, and then feed the new stuff in and try to make sure that the base here is in the little lips. See, a little bit of that came out, so that means I've pulled it back out. So I bring it right to the edge there. And then this side I'll just clip off, give it a snip, and there you go. These are the old seals. We're trying to use as many of them as we can. We have to make sure that the corners and like the sides of these are still like nice and rubbery. If they're hard, eventually they will crack just like this here. And that's what we don't want. Take the frames off and we will replace them with this new seal that we have here, which is nice, soft, malleable rubber.
You fold it over the edge first, right? And then you come in with the angle cutters and you clip right at the apex, and then you try to trim away the excess stuff.
To conserve some of our resources and save some money, we're gonna clip these where the good parts are and reuse them with another half of the other gaskets that are good as well. We clean the windows, we put the window or the gasket back on the windows, and then we put caulking inside the frames themselves. And then after that we went over and we actually did like a nice silicone seal around each of the frames. So what I'm doing today is I'm going through and double checking all of the seals that we put around the windows to make sure that there's no gaps or holes or bubbles or anything, and if there are, I'm going to fix them. So as an example, a nice clean seal, but then there is a little air pocket here, so there's a little gap and you can see the gasket underneath of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back over that, make sure that's nice and sealed up. There's a couple openings in the corners here that we obviously did not get a lot of caulking into. I'd rather be safe than sorry and make sure that our bus is actually nice and sealed up against the weather. Oh my god. We just spent about the last 30 minutes of our light trying to put the window frame back together that Ellison so wonderfully in detailed remembered how to put back together.
It wasn't that bad.
But we did get it fixed. And
I farted.
we're putting our first finished window back on the bus.
Always wear your gloves when you're doing this stuff. Edit all of this out. All of it.
No. The struggle is real.
The struggle is stupid. I can't articulate this window in any direction. And I can't hold on to it because I'm not wearing any gloves. Like,
Well, go get your gloves.
oh my god. It's so much easier to get things out because you just kind of like, it's out. And then like you want to put things in, you want to put it back nice and carefully, and you can't because you shook it to death to get it out. And you can't just shake it to death to get it back in. Usually. It's just so heavy. This is f***ing awesome. This feels like progress. We wanted to use new screws on the outside of the bus, but I mistakenly bought like regular threaded screws instead of the machine thread screws that are in the bus now. So I kind of screwed up the, pun definitely intended. Thank you. So I definitely screwed up the driver's side window. I stripped out the hole that the screw was supposed to go into. So we tried to gather up as much of the old screws as we could, but you know, we didn't really care about them when we were taking the old windows out. So now I'm not entirely sure where those screws are, and I'm out of screws.
Since we're missing the screws that we need to finish putting the other windows up, we're going to take the other windows out from the other side of the bus to finish at least putting this side up, and then we'll just replace the screws.
Thanks for watching our video, guys. If you liked it, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, because that's a good thing to do.
And leave us a comment, ask us any questions that you have about us or our conversion. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd love to have you along for our journey. We will see you in our next video.
The next video. I remember reading a thread and some people were freaking out about automotive caulking and how it can hold and contain moisture and sleep with your wife and